Hey there. All right, so in the earlier videos, we connected to a variety of data sources, spreadsheets, CSV, database tables, queries, database queries, and we even entered our own data. So we have a total of 14 queries in this Power BI file. And at the moment, I'm looking at this data through Power Query. We then proceeded to profile the data and check for any anomalies and understand the statistics about our data. Now we're ready to actually look at the data model or the data structure and its relationships. So what I'd like to do here is close and apply the changes I've made in Power Query and effectively return to Power BI. Now in Power BI, there are three buttons on the left-hand side, and you're actually in the button called Report, and that is why I can see a report canvas in front of me. But if I click on the button called Model, then I'm actually seeing the data model. Now, it can be a bit busy, so I'm going to collapse on my laptop the Properties pane, and I'm either going to collapse the Fields pane. Now down here in the bottom right of my screen, I have a button called Fit to Page. And if I click that, I can see all the queries in my data model. Now what I want to do is move things around, and you can do so just by grabbing the title at the top of the object. And really for starters, just bringing everything over to the left-hand side so that I can then zoom in and actually arrange this data more intelligently. So the data model, or what you're seeing here, is the relationships between the tables in your data model. And not all tables have got a relationship. So I've moved everything over to the left, and now I'm going to Fit to Page again. And that just zooms in a little bit more. Now let's start by putting shippers on the left. I'm putting shippers here. Then I'm putting orders to the left of shippers, like there. Order details, I'm popping here. And then categories, I'm going to put to the right of that, there. Towards the top, I'm going to put customers to up here, which means that I then need to move orders down a little bit and maybe the others down as well. All right. Then I want to move employees over to here and products over to here and suppliers. Where are my suppliers? Over to here. Volunteers list will actually sit further down, about there. 10 most expensive products under that. Customers is going to sit to the left of that. Orders 1997 to the right of that. And sub-products categories actually over here. Now I actually was supposed to rename that query earlier. So I'm going to right click, and do I have the option to rename it here? No, I do not. So I might open up my fields. There is my product subcategories there. I'm going to right click or press F2, and I'm going to rename that bike products by month and enter. And I will see that change, so I can now collapse that. I will see that change occur in my diagram view here. Be careful not to hit the little I, that actually hides the table. So be careful not to hit that I. You'll know if you've hit it because there'll be a line through it and all these eyes will appear. So I'll click it again to turn that off. So don't hit any eyes and hide any tables. Okay, so we've got our tables arranged in such a way that I hope it's going to be easier to understand what's going on here. I might just move that up a little bit, move that up a little bit, move that up a little bit, and see if I can fit to page and it gets a little bit bigger, not a lot. Okay, so that is how you can rearrange the tables in your data model. What we're seeing here at the bottom of our screen is a canvas or a layout called All Tables. You can actually create more canvases or layouts so that you can hone in on particular areas of your data model. So I'm actually going to click this button because I do want to create a database data model, which really is just a segment of the entire collection of tables, but the ones that came from the database only. So I'm actually going to click the auto layout button, and that brings in everything. Then I'm actually going to delete certain things, like this is by products per month. I click it, I press the delete key, and no, remove from diagram. Do not delete from model, remove from diagram. So I just want to get that out of this diagram. Move this over, move this over. Anything that's related is part of the database. Anything that doesn't have a line is not related and was not part of the database. So bring these over, they're the relevant database. These did not. Delete from the diagram and 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 delete from the diagram. So be very careful that you do, and then just fit to page, that you do delete the correct ones. Now let's just put customers to at the top. Right, and then let's put shippers to the left there. Put products down here. Put orders over here. Put order details to the right, maybe there, and suppliers down here, and employees over here. Okay, and I could just move them around a little bit more. Just trying to really make it clear to see the relationships. Fit to page so it zooms in a little bit. I can't lift that up any higher. And categories, I actually want to put that over here. I think the line is clearer over there. Move them over a little bit, move them over a little bit, move them over. It's worth spending a bit of time doing this because this is your data model, and this is important for you to be able to effectively understand what's going on with the data. And fit to page. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, and I'll save the files, I'll just hit my save button. You can zoom in and zoom out with this as well, so I can just make it a little bit bigger to show you what's going on. But basically, a relationship appears between two tables in the form of a line. And the line has a 1 on one end and a star or an asterisk on the other end. And it has an arrow indicating the relationship. Now, if I actually rest on this line here, you'll notice that customer ID in the customers to table and customer ID in the orders table acquire some grey shading. So that means that that's the field that connects those two tables. And the 1 is basically saying to me, one customer places many orders. The star means many. Over here, now I'm not seeing the field it's connected to, so I'll just stretch that. Over here, shipper ID is connected to ship via. One shipper ships out many orders. One customer places many orders. Let's go to employees. Employee ID to employee ID. One employee manages or handles many orders. Let's go over here. And I'll just scroll down and rest on the line. Can't see the connection, stretch the table. Rest on the line, there's the connection. One supplier supplies many products. Let's rest on this one. Category ID to category ID. One category, beverages, seafood, dairy, has many products. One category has many products. One supplier supplies many products. Let's look at this one. Order ID to order ID. One order has many details. Notice the details is the product and the quantity and the price. So one order, order number one, can be 10 of those, 3 of those, 5 of those, 4 of those. So one order can have many, many details. And so one product can appear in many order details. So those are the database tables or queries, and that is the relationships that came through to Power BI because we asked to bring in the tables and we asked it to select related tables. And we've created a canvas or a layout that focuses on just the database aspect of the data model. But if I went back to all tables, then these are all the tables that are in this actual Power BI file. And so a lot of these, like bike products per month, customers, 10 most expensive products, volunteers list, orders 1997, even sales for 2019, bring that down here. These are all sort of independent, lone wolf, not connected sort of tables, and we need to sort that out. So we'll have a look at that as well. So that's the data model or structure relationship side of it. Just rest on the line to see what the connections are between two tables. But there is a button also, it's this manage relationships button that you can click. And when you do that, it basically tells you order details is related to orders by order ID. Product order details is related to products by product ID. So it auto detects, we can auto detect any relationships. Found one new relationship. Interesting. So close. And here it found one new relationship. I think it was the last one, which is products and supplier. So you can auto tick the relationship, see if there's anything missing. Found no new relationships. You can delete a relationship, you can edit a relationship, or even create a new one. And so that manage relationships button is an option as well. All right, so I'm just going to save that file, and that's our data model done.